Yo, what's up, guys? So I want to do a quick video on decentralized social media, crypto related social media. And I'm going to start out with Twitter. So I bought premium a few months ago and it was a discount. So it was like $100. But basically, you have to have 5 million impressions and you have to have over 500 verified followers at this point. So let's just take a look at this. And I tested this back at the beginning of November and went hard at it to see like how many impressions could I get a day if I was kind of going crazy. We know the situation with Twitter or X. You essentially have to do all this engagement farming, which is annoying. You know, if you're trying to provide value and stuff like that, you feel like to meet these metrics, you're going to have to do a lot of stuff that's not really helping anybody. So let's just kind of look at normal activity and then when I had kind of bought this and then kind of cranked it up and stuff like that. So a little bit under 20,000 impressions, but even if you multiply, and you have to do it in a 3 month span of time. So even multiplying, 20,000 impressions by 90 days, that's 1.8 million. So that would not get you to the 5 million. Now you can assume if you kept engagement farming like this and going crazy, that eventually, your numbers would go up and you'd gain a bigger following and it would increase. But we see all the time people just fighting and fighting and fighting and having to just kind of putting up nonsensical posts to try to meet these metrics. Also, I keep losing followers. I got up to about 525 followers, and then, whether they were bots or determined to be fake accounts, whatever, they kept getting kind of like taken away, taken away. So you always feel like you're on quicksand, but then they put in the verified followers thing. So I'm only at 110 and total followers 473. Previous to that, even though this account is from 2016, I had never tried to build it up. People were getting kicked off of Twitter, and I'd maybe pop in there to look at a few things, but I just never tried to build it up. Now, let's get into the decentralized social media. We're going to go through a lot of things. We're going to go over DTube, Hive, Blurt, Steam, Inleo, Esensi. We're also going to talk about the arena, and we are going to get on the arena today and kind of see why it's kind of a hot topic currently. We're going to talk about open chat, and we're going to talk about Discover, and we're going to talk about Diamond app on DSO. We're going to talk about DSO. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff here, and this is going to give you some kind of insight on the flow and sort of if you're trying to expand your following in the crypto space and you are trying to earn some crypto to keep the wheels greased. This is going to give you kind of some insight of how to move. And some people are going to say, well, this isn't that much money, or that didn't pay you that much, or this didn't pay you that much. But it's all the things in combination. And it's more to, again, like I said, grease the wheels, keep you moving. So let's first talk about Hive. And most of the time, I connect through Hive through peakd.com. And this is just another front interface to the Hive blockchain. But if I film a video like this, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to submit it through DTube. And in DTube, I'm more using it as a front end to blow it out to all these blockchains. So it's being blown out to the Avalon blockchain, which is DTube. It's going out to Hive. It's going to Blurt. It's going to Steam. So you're able to have this multi-interface. I can blow it out to all of them and interact with them there. And the one thing I will say about DTube at this given time, currently the bridge is down. It used to bridge to the Binance Smart Chain, to a liquidity pool that was on PancakeSwap, and that bridge is down. And then native DTube used to be on an exchange called Ionomy, and then it was like kind of like the Ionomy exchange went down. So right now it's a little bit of a marooned thing right now as far as the rewards go. So I'm more using it as a front end, and then kind of the plan is to sort of come back and kind of address this bridging issue. So anyway, that being said, it still, like I said, can be used as a front end to interact with these other blockchains. So like once I've done that, let's say I'm over here on Steam, and here was one that I put through there, hottest crypto social media platform, and then I talked about ZENA. Um, But anyway, the hottest social media platform I was talking about was the Arena. We're going to go there a little bit later. I'm posting some stuff about the Arena. And so, I'm earning the Hive there. These are the upvotes. Some are automated, some are manual that people have done. And now if I post to the Hive blockchain through mobile, I have the Ascensi app. And the advantage to the Ascensi app is you get points. And so I have quite a few points built up, and just the point value is worth almost $20 itself. Now this allows me, I could either cash out these points, or I can use it to promote my posts and kind of put it in front of more people and have it as like a promoted post on the Ascensi app. And this is the web interface. I don't typically use this web interface. I typically use PeakD, like I said. Part of the reason being that, if you go into the wallet and you can go, you can do a lot of stuff in here. And I think one thing to note is, let's say like on the Hive-backed dollar, for instance, you can earn 15% APR on a dollar pegged asset. It used to be 20%. The witnesses voted for it to be at 15%. Some of them feel like it should be at 20. So we'll kind of ultimately see sort of what happens there. But the Hive-backed dollar has been stable around $1 for years. They have gotten that thing pretty stable, and essentially the Hive-backed dollar is a debt against Hive. The Hive-backed dollar is a debt against Hive. And as long as they keep the debt ratio low, then and a lot of times it comes around 7% debt ratio of the total market cap of Hive. The total market cap of the Hive-backed dollars are worth around 7% or so of what Hive is worth. Now, this allows them to do quite a bit of things, being able to gravitate back towards that. This whole thing is like in its entire economy. Now, you have the Hive engine, and think about this a little bit more kind of like Ethereum or Solana or that kind of thing, where you have all these other tokens that are doing other stuff on the Hive blockchain. So Leo, for instance, is from the Leo Finance guys, and I'm going to show you kind of their new interface is called InLeo. So if you post through here, and these guys, I like these guys, I like these developers. They're always trying something new. They're trying to drive demand to the Leo token, which again is a token on the Hive blockchain. But basically you could do video shorts on here. Those aren't loading right now. Let's go to notifications. Just people that have upvoted me and stuff like that. Let's go to my profile, because a lot of times I don't post through InLeo. Sometimes I do. I keep a tabs on kind of what the InLeo, what these guys are doing and stuff. So I posted here like a month ago. Here was one thing that I posted basically after the election or something. The Trump pump is real, and my upvotes, that was like 52 cents. This is the founder of InLeo, the whole ecosystem and stuff like that. And they're saying there's about 5,000 people on here. I think in general there's been about 1,000, but they did bring in the Dash community. But basically, when you post through here, you get Leo, and you also are going to get Hive. So that's kind of like with the Ascensi, you're going to get the points and you're going to get Hive. So you can kind of double up, and even with this, you can kind of triple up and quadruple up. If you use certain tags, for instance, and I don't see it real quick, but like if you tag it with like Pepe, there's like an iteration of Pepe that's on here on Hive and stuff like that. And sometimes you get stuff. So, and I don't remember ever tagging anything as this Lash Cash, but I do have a bunch of this Lash Cash, and I kind of unstaked it, but I guess it's worth $1.86. Sometimes, and I was actually unstaking these. I had 100 Leo that were staked, and I was understaking them, but I think it's ultimately worth around $10 once it's kind of unstaked. So anyway, you can earn these various different tokens by posting. and interacting with it that way. Now let's go on. So the original chain was the Steam blockchain, and then the community forked that to Hive, and then there was an additional fork called Blur. So we're going to talk about all these kind of in the same realm, because most of the time when I post on Hive, then I copy and paste that to Steam, and then I post it to Blur, and then maybe I throw it out to some of these others too. Various different things. Now these weren't getting paid as much. I don't know what happened kind of to the support. As you know, I was usually getting around 30 to 40 cents with these. So I don't know if there was an upvote bot that went down recently, or kind of what happened with that. But the price did get high enough that if you look at the wallet, um, well, that's not what I was looking for. I think it was more on this page. So they have this. So the Steam backed dollars were $3. So a lot of times when this stuff says, let's just say you got paid $1, actually you could be actually getting paid way more than $1, because when the Steam backed dollar breaks away from $1, um, you end up getting paid a lot more. So that's a little bit confusing, but they have not put in the kind of mechanisms that the Hive blockchain has put in to try to keep it at $1. Um, so it kind of flies away. It flies away from $1, which is an advantage for bloggers, um, but there's certain other mechanisms within the system that you could say that it's a disadvantage. But at the end of the day, that's just what it is. It's kind of one of the things that's going on in the ecosystem. Now, Blur is the third sort of kind of iteration of these that I sort of copy and paste to. And, like I said, this was put through DTube, so it automatically went up there. And, I have a certain amount of support kind of coming in here. The difference with Blur, one of the differences is they don't have like a Blur back dollar. They kind of took that out of there. And then also they made it so that every sort of transaction kind of cost you a little bit. So you always have to keep like a little bit of liquid Blur in your wallet. Um, you have to keep a little bit of liquid Blur in your wallet, and to keep this kind of flow. But here's the thing, guys. Um, I keep the flow with this stuff, and then over time it just kind of mounts up, and then maybe there's 50 or $100, and and maybe I need it there, maybe I need to take it to something else. Um, and I just kind of keep the flow. Sometimes, like here's a good example. Um, I had to send some over from basically from Steam, and then I sent this out because I needed some other funds somewhere else or something like that. So I just kind of slosh this stuff back and forth, and where I need it, I just keep it. I use it to kind of grease the wheels, because this stuff usually does not boom until later in the cycle. So it's kind of late in the altcoin cycle is what I've noticed over time. It usually peaks late. Because I think a lot of people take a lot of their earnings from some of the other stuff, and then they want to have the goose that lays the golden egg. And by staking more of these, more of the Hive, more of the Blur, more of the Steam, then you're going to be able to amp up more rewards, or ultimately they can kind of get a bunch of rewards, and then they could take this to the high back dollar, and then when we enter the bear market, maybe they're able to earn 15%, let's say, or 20%. It was running at 20% for over 2 years. And then they more recently, probably about 3 or 4 months ago, took it down to 15%. So this being said, when you know how to move within these ecosystems, it can be very lucrative. And obviously a bank account, you'd be lucky to get, obviously 4 or 5% on something, even for like, let's say like a CD, if it paid 5%, that would be enough. But that's not keeping up with inflation. So something like this, could be something. And I know somebody's going to say, oh, it's like Terra Luna and stuff. And it's not. And there's several reasons, and that's an in-depth conversation. But this is backed. This is a debt on Steam, and they have certain mechanisms like this 3-day unstake, so that you won't fall into a doom loop. There's a lot of like safety guards to keep this, and it's been tested. I mean, it was paying 20% when FTX collapsed, and the witnesses can take emergency action. They could take this to 0% for a short period of time if they had to for emergencies. There's a lot of safeguards. So what happened to Terra Luna, or what happened to the Iron Titan situation on Polygon a couple years ago, that is not something that would happen here. Now, there's always risk within crypto, but if you guys trust me, with what I'm saying and what I understand, what I've seen when this has been tested to its limit, it has survived. So that being said, let's move on to something that's on ICP, and that's Open Chat. And for some reason, I'm in guest mode because I tried to log in with my internet identity. There was actually a comment I made previously or whatever, and it's still up there. Now, this general public, and you kind of see the amount of users that are on this, 57,000 members in this, or it seems like there's like 57,000 members that are part of Open Chat. Now, the thing with ICP is everything's on chain. So this front end interface, it's on chain. You're able to tip within this. You're able to put pictures. That ends up being on chain. This whole thing is not utilizing Amazon Web Services or Google Cloud or any of these other external, web services or web hosting. It's able to do its own thing, and everything on chain and stuff. And so technologically, ICP is the superior chain, but it is hard to develop on, from what I've experienced myself. And I think it's going to take time to onboard like bigger and bigger communities, but there is a lot of positivity here. But the thing I was going to say on this is I never, I haven't earned that, like I haven't earned like a bunch or anything in Open Chat, and I can't say for sure because it's going to take more time to kind of see the if the tokenomics are going to work to where it makes sense to like invest a lot in chat. Um, so that's yet to be seen. Now, Jerry Banfield is pushing Open Chat pretty hard, and he is able to push traffic. So maybe he's able to overcome any kind of limitations with the tokenomics and just onboard a lot of people, which could therefore sort of pump the price if people are wanting to buy Open Chat and invest in it and interact in this community and stuff like that. But I've not really made money there, and I have not been like crazy active on there. Moving on, and I had heard about DeSo previously, and I actually just got on today because I was actually over on the arena, and more people were talking about DeSo. Now, I just put up an initial post. I didn't really get any kind of engagement. Didn't necessarily expect it, but I'm looking at these top creators and how much their accounts are worth. So one of the things on DeSo, so they created their own blockchain, and you can have NFTs and you can have social media. So it seems like this diamondapp.com is one of the most popular kind of like ways to interact with the DeSo blockchain. And I think some of this is kind of weird because it's almost like people created these accounts like Elon Musk, but it's like this profile is reserved. Elon Musk has not joined DeSo yet, but then it's like people are able to kind of buy into his account and buy and sell this, and it's like it creates its own creator coin kind of thing, and then it shows all these people who are holding it. Now, I don't know if one of the reasons people sit there and buy it and hold it is to gain more visibility, or just speculative investment that they think it will go up, and if that person ever does get on the platform, that it would be something. But I just think that's kind of it's kind of strange when you kind of like look through a bunch of the ones that aren't active, because there's like LeBron James and there's a bunch of different celebrities and stuff like that. But whoops, I don't know who this is, but I accidentally followed him. Let's see. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's an app, I guess. So anyway, regardless, I need to I need to play around with that more. Um, and I do think one way, is to kind of click through some of these and creator of the DeSo blockchain, head of DeSo Foundation. Let's go ahead and follow him. And let's just look at a post, kind of see if we can determine anything, if they're making anything. So it seems like there's reaction, 41 diamonds. I can't really necessarily determine. It's always like I'm seeing the value of their account, but I'm not necessarily seeing the value of the post. So I don't know if that's the play there, that it's more about like getting engagement and then getting more people to buy into your account. And so then it ends up being like your account is worth that much, which maybe in turn gives you more influence versus, let's say with something like Hive, it's it's more about getting the upvotes, which then gives you rewards out of the inflation that's being created. And it's like your account can become more valued by getting like the Hive power or the Steam power or the Blurt power on the other chains. So I haven't, let me know if you guys are on DeSo. I'd like to connect with you guys. And the whole thing about this is, I think that if you're across all these different platforms and you're kind of everywhere and you're connecting with everybody, it can benefit you in the long run. And you're going to see that you're going to see that on the arena when we kind of get over there. And I'll show you what I'm trying to do with the arena. Now, let's talk about Discover. I got on this back in March, and it just seems like there's a point system, but it's almost like they don't have a crypto. And it was originally sort of launched on ICP, and then it was like they migrated over to more like kind of Solana, or just kind of being multi-chain where you could kind of log in with the internet identity or a Solana wallet or this different stuff, or just kind of your Gmail account. And then it's kind of like, well, there's people kind of over here, but I'm not really seeing anybody like make any money. It's like, okay, 326 likes, I guess. 327, I just liked it. And but I don't know if that's just kind of a tipping platform maybe. It looks like you could tip Bonk or the new Pingu or whatever token. Um Let me know if you guys are on Discover and have figured anything out there. And maybe it's a thing where they're trying to get the engagement and onboard everybody, and then later they're going to drop a token. That can be kind of a hard route, because it's like, can you retain everybody, or are you going to kind of lose traction before you actually drop it? So kind of interesting play there. Now let's kind of bring this full circle back to Arena, because you're going to kind of see, and you're going to see a lot of these tips and stuff that I'm getting 2 hours ago, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, and you're getting a lot of these, and some of them tipped you 100 cock. There's cocking you, so you can tip memes, and a lot of times I'll go in and follow these people. Now let's look at my profile. So I joined maybe 4 weeks ago. I'm already up to 108 followers, but I'm just kind of doing the follow for follow thing, and I'll show you kind of I'm going to show you my full kind of like strategy on this. And it's going to be multifold. So you can buy someone's ticket, which is kind of like the DeSo thing of buying into someone's account. And these people have all bought my account, because once they saw I was being super active and I was tipping other people and starting to engage and talking to people, and kind of that I've been in crypto, and I even put up here, I've been in crypto since 2013, and I have over 5,000 Hive followers and 3.5 million 3.5K YouTube subs, kind of thing. So they can see, you log in through X, so they can kind of see my X following there, which obviously if somebody comes in with 10,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 followers and stuff like that, people might buy up their ticket pretty quick, and they could become popular here. Now you see sort of some of these top people. So let's look at this guy. Over 63,000 followers on this platform. So we can assume that there's probably at least 70,000 people on the arena. And let's just pretend let's just say there's 100,000 for all practical purposes. This is the creator. This is like the main, I guess, CEO. And I guess this whole thing started out of Stars Arena, and then it went through several iterations and stuff like that. And then, it was having issues and stuff. And I guess this Jason guy and maybe his outfit bought it. That's what I'm gathering. And then recently they'd won a thing on Avalanche to basically get funding. And I guess out of the $40 million that was dished out to different projects or something, I think they got a couple million from my understanding of being in some of these stages. I'm going to show you the stages because if you sign up, the stages are where it's at, and trying to get involved in the stages is what's going to actually get you tips and stuff like that. Well, let's go over to the wallet. Now, is this as decentralized as DeSo or Hive or Blur or Steam? No. It seems like everything's kind of like not on chain. Everything's database driven, cloud storage driven, except maybe the wallet functionality, and you can actually withdraw, and you can export your private keys. Now, I haven't done that yet because I don't have that much. So portfolio value, 0.15, AVAX essentially. So I haven't built this up, but now you see like I've got over 200,000 cock inu, and I've got some more liquid arena, and I've got no chill. That's another meme. And then it seems like they've actually put Sol and Bonk and Whiff up here, and they're going to do a Solana integration. So I think they're going to be a little bit more multi-chain, and you're going to be able to sort of export this to a wallet that maybe can handle Solana and Avalanche and kind of bring those communities and stuff together. But it's primarily kind of the Avalanche community, but there's a lot of people coming over from DeSo. There's various ones. I'm pulling people over. So I bought these guys tickets, Stack and Charles Fuchs, Off Grid and Ace 108. They've been out on the Hive, Steam, Blur kind of ecosystems for a long time. So I bought their tickets. They just kind of came over. And then once again, all these people bought mine. Now I'm gonna buy some of these tickets. Crypto Deviant and Mr. 430, and I'm gonna look into buying these. I just don't have that much funds over here to buy their tickets because they're a little bit more expensive. So I either got to earn it over here, or I've got to deposit some funds from an outside wallet, stuff like that, if I want to do that. So I'm still looking at a lot of stuff. Now I wanted to show you this, the arena portal. So staking, and I already staked, and this was partially a test. I staked 100 arena, and you get 30% APY. But my question, and I think that's great, and a lot of people are staking, but my question is, what is the inflation on this chain? What is the inflation of the arena token? Because this has not changed. So if 10,000 people or 30,000 people or 70,000 people stake their arena, it's still paying 30% APY. So a lot of times when you're on these, like whether it be, let's just say Spirit Swap on Phantom or something like that, there would be, or if you remember DeFi Kingdoms, there was the Jewel token. And if you wanted, you could stake it and get X Jewel, or like on Spirit Swap, you could stake it and get X Spirit, that kind of thing. But the more people that would stake, the return would maybe decrease. You know what I mean? To adjust for the amount of people staking and the token value and all that kind of stuff. But we're just kind of see this stay at 30%. So that is a question mark in my mind. That's not FUD. That's just me kind of understanding tokenomics and thinking and seeing stuff. Again, notifications. Again, it's been blowing. Look, I mean, I was on and off here all day, and look at this bitcode, 300, 400, 300 cock in you. He was blowing it up, and this guy's a technical guy. I heard this guy talk earlier, and he's very smart, and there was a couple other smart guys, and they were dropping alpha guys. So the thing is if you're in part of some of these rooms, and you can actually learn quite a bit. Now as far as the posts are concerned, let's go back to my profile. It's not necessarily about the post, because let's say I got like 5 upvotes. This one I got 14 upvotes, 14 likes, and I got 4 reposts. But it's not like you're getting paid necessarily for the post right now. It's more about trying to drive your value up for your account value. And I'm going to go over here because this is called Arena Book, and there's a link to it in your account. And you can look at different people's. Okay, so like Billy Marcus joined, one of the creators of Dogecoin. He joined like a few days ago, and this is kind of like his account value. You know, people bought it up, and maybe they bought his ticket, then like sold it, and then now we're kind of, so you can actually buy and sell these tickets, and kind of, again, that's, you know, it's whole game theory, and its own is buying and selling these tickets, and trying to speculate how much engagement is someone going to have, or other people going to buy it. And so it's this whole market of buying and selling these tickets. And I mean, that's part of the reason why I jumped in, you know, going back to these for stacking, off grid, and Ace 108. These are guys that have went hard at those other platforms in the past, and if they see value in chilling out in the stages or being active, then other people could see that too and buy up their ticket. And then at some point, you know, I could, you know, end up selling their ticket later on, or hold it, and, you know, maybe that becomes more valuable. But one of the things you can do for ticket holders, and this is one of the things that came up in these stages, is, let's just say you have a project coming up, for instance, and I mentioned this last video, that I have an NFT project coming up. All people that are holding ZENA, all wallets that are holding ZENA, you know, which is my meme that's on Solana, everybody's holding that is going to get a drop of the NFT. They're going to get whitelisted for the NFT, but also all my ticket holders are also going to be whitelisted. So I'm trying to bring value to my account and kind of my name and the products that I'm releasing. So there's other people on here who are releasing NFTs. Maybe they're releasing access to, you know, because you can chat with these. So it's like it's kind of a weird thing where, I mean, for instance, let me just test this. Okay, that's for trading tickets. I guess it's the messages. So I guess it's the people that you've bought tickets for that are immediately in here. Well, let's just say, I don't know. It's almost like you can only message the people on here that have bought your ticket, or that you've bought their ticket, which is, I don't know. I'll have to play with that later. I'm not completely sure with that. Now let's, okay, I want to talk about this. There is this app store, and this is the only game that's in the app store. So there is the ability to potentially build other apps on the arena where you could kind of tap into the community. And that reminds me a little bit of kind of like with Hive, how you have like, you know, you can have, you know, different tokens on the Hive engine, and you could have different, you know, ecosystems in your own that are sort of built on top of Hive. So it's kind of like that. You're able to tap into this ecosystem, which I sent them an email just to kind of see like what the criteria is. Because when you click on this, it just brings you to a form that you would have to pay, you know, that you'd have to fill out and stuff and get information from them, stuff like that. So I haven't heard back. We'll see what's going on with that. Let's go to the stages and see who's up. This stage has been running, this rug ticket buyback has been running for like 12 days. You know, they've been holding it down. I guess like they didn't initially sort of plan on that. You know, this here's a OG crypto talk. We could potentially get in that, but crypto art school, so maybe they could be talking about NFTs, kind of where the alpha is with the NFTs. So this could be a real interesting one. And so we'll jump around here. I just want to kind of show you kind of tipping. We'll do some tipping. So I
Kind of
have to be a
like
little bit
going like
loud.
different rabbit holes, but
So
like
there's
for
quite a few
example,
people in
like
here, and let me go ahead and
why does it
tip
matter what her experiences are? Like for example, if she's
real
had
quick on
experience
this,
with other
and then I can go
dudes like
to
that are Mexican, Russian, black, or
copying
whatever,
you, and I
why
can
does it
say
matter to me? Like it only matters to
No.
me
6.9.
if I let it affect
Well,
me.
let's
You know
just
what I
do
mean?
6.9 because
See,
So that's
I,
just your
that,
a lot of
ego.
people in here.
It's the
no, see,
exclusivity.
that's the best. That's the good point. So it's only going to affect
Send
us
tip.
until we meet
So
another sentient
6.9
life.
copying you to everybody
You
that's
see
in
what I'm
that
saying?
room
Hi, everybody. I'm Chabi.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
is
it
tipping
affects you in a way to
213
where
people.
it broadens your knowledge, but
But
until
Yes.
no, when
that
you
time
meet sentient
happens,
life, that you're not just gonna want to immediately kill it because you're a
Avalanche is like
human being
2
you're
slash
beast.
yeah,
3
you're
So,
second
curious
block
about it,
times.
right?
I'm not real
yes.
sure
So
everything's.
imagine going
So
back
you
in
see that
time,
confetti.
right? When the Indians met,
So
or
then you
the
see
Native
Ryan
Americans met
Phobos tipping party
the English
6.9
for the
copying
first
you.
time and they couldn't communicate because
You can
language
individually
barrier.
tip the speakers
You
if
see
you
what I'm
like what
saying?
they're
It's like
saying. You can
that.
tip them.
Or again, like
God
So
made
any
the
you
human
could type
beast.
and engage with people.
Yeah,
something similar.
but like as we progress, as we as a civilized people, we learn how to communicate, right?
And
Like
let's say I
whether
want to
it's like
follow a
language,
particular person.
sign language, or like
Mm.
and things like
I
that.
could click
So
on them,
we're more
click on their
civilized now.
account,
So are
bring it
you
up
saying
over
like if
here,
we meet like
and
an
follow
alien,
them.
like whatever they show on
But
movies, that
the
Like, for
we're
X
gonna
example,
try?
the
factor with
only
this
reason an
whole
alien, I apologize,
arena
I don't mean to interrupt,
situation
sir.
is the tipping in
The only reason
here
an alien, like, why
and
should
being
I think
able
an
to
alien
tip.
would
I
meet
didn't
me?
bring any
Why would an
money in
alien
here,
come to my ego? Why would
and you
or
kind of see
maybe
I
I
have a
had a lot
couple
of
hundred
energy?
thousand
I don't know.
cocking you
Why would an
just from
alien
being in these
select
different
me out of a
talks,
group of a
and I
lot
had
of
some no
humans and then
chill, and I
put
had
me
some
back here?
arena.
Fuck, dude.
One guy was
Um,
saying he walked out of there in one
So
day with
you're
like
talking
12
about abducted
AVACs
people,
because he actually
meaning
got up on stage
um
and talked.
they probably
Let's
just want
kind
to
of
see
get in
how
one of these
far
other
you
rooms
advance.
and kind of see if we can hear some alpha and maybe even get up on a stage. Let's just try to get. So this person's trying this. Buy a ticket to join. You know, let's do this. OG Crypto Talk. What's your favorite cryptos and why? Join the stage. Start listening.
Is for smaller. He's going to lower the deficit. Like such bullshit.
Well, it's hard now when you're paying, about $1 trillion in interest. $36 trillion national debt is what they're saying right now.
I'll tip them.
And he wants to like take away the debt ceiling. That's a great idea.
We'll do 6.9.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but we're supposed to have separation of power. We really haven't had that for a long time. They've made a corporation equal to a person. The Supreme Court did, and even Obama called him out during the State of the Union speech.
Yeah.
And I that was a horrible decision to, and yeah, the PACs, so the big
They're
money
talking about
people,
Trump. He wants to remove
so
the
you
debt
can only,
ceiling,
you're limited as a person what you can donate
kind of thing.
for the
So
president. But a PAC can, buy ads and do things and mislead people. Yeah, it's just
Or
crazy.
somebody could buy Twitter to spread a bunch of misinformation to help the president. That's another thing you can do.
see, they must not like Elon and
Yeah,
Trump.
and
So um,
Donald was really good at misinformation and
at the
disinformation
end of
and
the
not
day,
knowing
guys, you
anything
guys see
about
what's
global warming,
happening.
climate change, or really
You can get a lot of people in
pollution.
these
And
rooms
he did give.
and send the tips out, and then obviously you can buy and sell people's tickets for their accounts, and you can kind of provide value to your ticket holders by maybe whitelisting them for an NFT drop. You could send them kind of additional tips just individually, and kind of you know just help everybody kind of build their accounts up, kind of thing. And a lot of people seem to be kind of pitching, whether it be a project or their service. You can kind of get in here and pitch kind of service if you're a developer, if you're an artist, if you're an NFT artist, that kind of thing. You could kind of interact with people and kind of connect with people through a lot of these different channels. It also saves the recording so you can listen to it after the fact, see how many people tuned in. This one, 359 people tuned in. But again, I just want to go back to this whole X factor is the fact that you can sit there and tip inside of these things. So as you can see with these notifications, some of these people are just making it rain. Just, Bitcode was just unloading his wallet, just unloading. And half the stuff, I had a phone on that had it open and it was sitting in the passenger seat. And I was just kind of listening to it, but I was just driving and I wasn't interacting. And then it was just raining into my wallet, raining into my wallet. And who knows like how much that ends up totaling up to at the end of the day. But you see the activity. This is all, I mean, I'm going to try to go back. It's even hard to go back 24 hours, but even just 24 hours, you see a lot of this stuff is obviously like other engagement, but there's a lot of tips you, tips you, tips you, tips you, tips you, tips you. So I guess in the last 3 weeks, there's been like $300,000 have went through the tipping function in those. Another person just followed me. I'm just gonna follow them back. That's gonna be my game. Is just follow, follow, follow. I'm just gonna do follow for follow. At this given point, see if I can get my engagement up. See if I can, obviously provide value to my ticket holders, and just kind of see what's up. Just kind of learn the system over the next, few days. And I'm gonna wait, until I get interest on my arena tokens and kind of see what happens. And they're supposed to be doing some additional airdrops and stuff in here, and there's supposed to be other features that are going to roll out, stuff like that. So we'll kind of see. But anyway, that's kind of a rundown of kind of a lot of the flow of what I'm doing with a lot of these decentralized social media apps, and whether it's that you're earning points or you're earning crypto that you can trade out of. And that's the thing. Some of you are going to say, well, I haven't heard of, Hive, Steam, Blurt, a bunch of these on, a bunch of these, on various different exchanges. Well, you can use stealthex.io and, just type in Steam, Steam, you could go Steam to, Litecoin. You could do Steam to Solana, and, just put in whatever. I mean, they're saying the minimum's that. Let's do Hive. A lot of times I think this is kind of connecting to Binance. So, I mean, you can do a swap. I've used StealthEX a bunch. I mean, you see, I mean, this is 12 exchanges or whatever that I've done just here kind of more recently. So you kind of keep the flow. If you need some funds over in your Avalanche wallet or your Solana wallet, or need some more Dogecoin, just keep the flow. So anyway, that's kind of a rundown of a lot of social media. Are there any other crypto social media platforms that you guys are on? And then if you're on Steam, Blurt, Hive, DTube, if you're on the Arena, if you're on DSO, go ahead and connect to me at Brian Phobos. Connect to me everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Steemit, Twitter, Hive, DTube, Arena, DSO, everywhere. See you guys.